Well, Sara Lee thinks two's better than one. The food and drinks company splitting into two businesses. The move coming after Sara Lee rejected takeover offers. John Erlichman's been following that story, and he joins me now with a special guest. John.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. We are joined now by Marcel Smits, who is the CEO of Sara Lee and was on an interim basis, now is officially the CEO after this development today that they're going to split the business into two instead of going with a takeover offer, which, of course, Bloomberg's been reporting on. Mr. Smits, thanks for your time today. And you had acknowledged that Sara Lee received unsolicited bids for the company. Clearly, you see this move as the better one for shareholders, but analysts had a lot of questions about why today. So what is the single biggest reason why you think this is the better move than, say, selling the company?
Well, the reasons why we think this is good for shareholders is because we're creating two pure plays. Pure plays typically tend to do really well, with management being really close to the market opportunity. Secondly, investors can choose which of the business they like best, and they can either invest in meats or they can invest in coffee or both. They currently can't make that choice. And then thirdly, this better positions each company to acquire or partner with participants in their respective markets.
And your stock right now is down on the news. We know it's been moving higher recently because a lot of people wanted to know what was going to happen. I understand you're not going to talk about what exactly was happening in the boardroom, but is there a price where you think Sara Lee is, or what the company is worth?
Let me just say the following. We received unsolicited indications of interest to buy the entire company, and after careful consideration of the alternatives, the board decided not to pursue these further, and instead we decided for the spin-off plus a special dividend, which we believe offers the greatest value to our shareholders, and that's what we're focused on. We're actually focused on executing that plan.
Very quickly, we're going to take a break and come back with you, but before we do that, you said at least one shareholder who said, we don't want you to do this. Can you tell us who that shareholder was?
No, I'm not at liberty to tell you who that shareholder was, but it was somebody who actually has a material stake in our company. So we found that an interesting data point. And by the way, I've had interactions with a lot more shareholders, and people do seem to think that this is the right way forward.
One of the things that you highlighted, Marcel, is that by splitting up these businesses, each of them can continue to acquire other companies perhaps a little easier. Do you have any timeline for what acquisitions those various businesses could be doing?
No, we don't have any specific timelines. As you probably have noticed, we've been very focused on organic growth. We've launched both in the coffee business and in the meats business. We've launched a couple of new initiatives that has kickstarted our organic growth, and we keep looking out for acquisitions. But we're disciplined in the way we go about acquisitions, and discipline, I think, is the more important word than exact timing.
You mentioned the coffee business. I don't have to tell you that coffee prices are at a 13-year high. You've been able to pass on some of those price hikes to consumers, but at what point do you know you can't do it anymore when it's going to hurt sales?
Well, so far our experience is not discouraging, I would say. In a couple of countries, we are actually up to our fourth price increase. Obviously, the trade and consumers have to get accustomed to it. I think the good news is that with so much news and publicity around coffee prices, that people accept the logic of us having to increase prices. And also the good news is that despite the elevated prices, we don't see consumers turning away from coffee as a product.
Right. Your international beverage and bakery business is not going to keep the Sara Lee name. Are you throwing any new names around at the office as you think about what it's going to be called?
No, we have been real busy preparing ourselves for today's presentation, and we've been using the work name Coffee Co. And I'm sure that in the as one of the many things that we have to do in the next few months, we'll come up with an appropriate name.
All right, Marcel, thanks for your time today. Marcel Smits, officially the new CEO at Sara Lee. You've been doing it on an interim basis. Mark, thanks a lot.
All right, John Erlichman, Mr. Smits, thank you both so much. Appreciate it.